No shit, I think we're live. Shit, my bad, guys. What's up, Woodchuck? What's going on, man? Hope you have a good week, brother. Man, he has the heat for you, man. It's getting warm up there yet? It's been fucking getting warm down here, man. It's fucking awesome. I'm excited. I'm pretty sure we're live. Hopefully. Hopefully I'm not over here talking to myself. Now, who else talks to themselves a lot? I talk to myself a lot. That fucking inner monologue and shit. At least most of it's out loud. Mainly on the road. But we're waiting for Death Kitty. She is running a little bit behind. Alright, we are streaming. We are live. Tinkered with the settings a little bit, so we're gonna see if our quality is better this time. What's going on? Just doing. We are waiting on Kitty. Not sure where she's at, but anyway, Gabe, hope you're having a good week, man. Hope everybody's having a good week. Alright, there's Death Kitty.
Hello there.
What's up?
Mm.
Oh shit, leaving already, Gabe. Hey, thanks for dropping in, man. Hey, I get it, dude. You're tired, man. You're tired, dude. Gotta keep that rest, man.
Hey, everybody, to who has been here already. Hello.
Woodchuck. Woodchuck and Just Doing. But yeah, guys, anybody hasn't checked out Just Doing, Kitty's gonna drop the link to their channel in the chat. Please go check them out, man. Live on Sundays, usually around 5 or so. But man, good stuff over there, man. Go check them out. Solid dudes talking about some real shit, man. If you have conspiracies, man, go check out their 2-part video. I don't remember what they named it. Kitty, do you remember what they named it?
I don't remember that one off the top of my head.
I looked it up. That was some intense shit, guys, for real.
Oh, that one was amazing.
Definitely kept you on the edge of your seat there, like, man.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Waiting for that part, too.
Okay.
Blah, 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 blah. There we go. It was the Pillars of Smoke and Mirrors, part 1 and 2. That was it. But yeah, guys, check that shit out, man. But yeah, we support them, guys, because they're awesome. No bullshit, no drama. And, you know, dude, honestly, they, I'm not gonna lie, this was kind of inspired, you know, in part by them. Tonight's episode, you know, we've been kind of trying to go into topics and cover shit and, you know, kind of slowly painting a picture of something bigger that we're trying to achieve, you all are trying to achieve. And, you know, we're over here, y'all are in your areas doing your own thing, kind of contributing to the bigger picture. We're over here doing our thing, contributing. But, you know, we've been doing these like topics and serious stuff, and tonight, you know, it's just gonna be kind of laid back. Just we're gonna hang out, talk about some shit, and you know, just kind of take it easy, fuck around, man. And
What
just
up,
have a
Georgia
good night.
Redneck?
Georgia, what's going on, man?
So I will tell anybody who's new to our channel, the reason why we promote these independent artists, we are big on, supporting anything independent. That includes music, that includes artists, but we also are big on promoting businesses. Even you're just an individual who's selling some stuff on the side, we are big on supporting those people. And part of that is also supporting independent artists because the reason why it's like their own business pretty much. If you look at it in that way, that'll make sense to you.
Yeah.
And I am going to put Woodchuck, his YouTube channel in the comments as well as Georgia Redneck. Y'all be sure to check him out if you're interested in some new and different music.
Absolutely, absolutely. Get these up here real quick. But but yeah, no, and like even like other people out there, man, who just want to do better shit, dude. Like I see so many people with so much potential, and I see how the world, man, just it like wears on them, and it like keeps them down, you know. And even some people that are like really spiritually strong, I see it like weigh on them more and more and more, and I mean you can tell they're fighting it, man. But you know, dude, like I almost feel like and for those of you watching who don't believe in it, that's cool. But I feel like, dude, the devil is getting like panicky. He is getting nervous. He's getting that is turning into him getting frantic. Like he's getting desperate, and he's trying to hold everyone down more and more and more, and he knows he's losing control, and he knows that we're beginning to overpower him, and it scared the shit out of him, dude. So I mean, what happens when you know you back a angry cat into a corner, man? They're gonna fuck your shit up. He knows that's what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah, Woodchuck. Rap Late album dropping in a few days. Fuck yeah, man. Dude, uh, man, we're really trying to work on the audio stuff, guys.
Yeah.
I'm really just kind of at my wits' end, man. I really think I have to upgrade some hardware, guys. It's gonna take me a minute, but I'll get there. Yeah, I'll get this shit rolling as soon as I can. But just want to let you guys know we're not trying to slack on it, man. But this time of year, like I said, it's just busy as fuck, man. And just finding time to do shit's already kind of kind of rough, man. But we will get there. We will again succeed in what we are trying to do for you guys, for ourselves. We believe in y'all. We believe in ourselves, man. And that's one thing I've noticed too. And I'm sure Kitty kind of feels the same. It's like the the more you believe in yourself, and like not just like thinking it, but like making it so like I can fucking do this. I can do this, whatever it may be, whatever obstacle might be in front of you. I can do this, and you kind of start getting that rhythm of you're doing shit, and you're pushing through, and like, wow, I made it through that, I made it through this, holy shit, looking back, wow, I made it through some shit. You can, it's like, it's almost, what's the word, like with sickness, contagious. It like rubs off on people, man. And at those people will start kind of feeling that energy too, vibrating on that same frequency, and they'll start kicking ass too. What do you think, Kitty?
Absolutely. And I've sent you a video and you've not been able to watch it because you when I send you stuff, you're at work. You can't
Yeah,
like I mean maybe to able to put it on the background, but not always. It just depends on the situation or whatever. But any of you guys ever check out the deep dive? That is another podcast. This gentleman helps other small businesses. That's what he does for a living. He has a business that helps out other businesses. And he did this whole like 2 segment on manifesting and everything else. And he broke it down scientifically and then he broke it down spiritually. And a lot of what you're talking about, Stoner Man, about it being contagious, about other like right whenever you're about to level up, all of a sudden, you have things coming at you, you have adversity. That's whenever you're about to level up, is whenever you have that coming at you, and everything else. And then, like you were saying, about how everything just seems to come out of everywhere to try to hold people down or whatever. This is why this stuff is so important. What we're doing, what that dude is doing on his podcast, sharing ideas with each other to lift each other up, and also it is contagious because you're putting positivity out there, and that positivity is being received, and then they want to put positivity back out as well.
Absolutely. And how do you, I mean, if you say love or energy or positivity, whatever is transmitted, like, how do you think that is transmitted?
I think okay, so I'm a little different with stuff, and you may kind of agree with me here, Stonerman. I think a lot of it was is within the soul. Um,
I mean, like on the physics level.
on a
Is that where
physics
you're
level.
going with that?
Not quite. I was going for a poor biology answer there, which can be the mind. You have to have your mind straight. You have to have your mind straight. But here's the thing with all of it, you guys. You have to have more than your mind straight. In order to have your mind straight, you have to be able to keep up with your temple, your body. If you are not getting some kind of exhilaration in what you do for a living, or even at home away from work, you need that to keep yourself fit. That is very important with your mind and your emotions and the way your brain waves work and the patterns and the neurons, the way they fire back and forth. Very important. So all of it is tied together, mind, body, and soul. But I'm gonna let you go ahead because I know you're onto something here.
Not really onto something, but I was thinking more like okay, how is electricity transferred? Right, particles, right? So, like, how does that energy between two people transmit, even over like a large distance? I mean, dude, there's so many particles on the elementary. Was it the elementary table of particles or something like that? Um,
Mhm.
but no, I think it's just the elementary particles table or something like that. But tachyons and what are the other ones? Gluons, bosons. There's all of these like
You're
particles
showing
that we
off.
don't. What?
Nothing.
What?
I said you're showing off, babe.
How am I showing up?
This is anyway. Go ahead. I'm
I
just
don't
playing.
understand.
It's okay. Go ahead.
But anyway, and you know, we don't even really know what most of these fucking do, and even the ones that we know what they do, we still don't really know a whole lot about them. I mean, like, what if these little particles that are almost, I mean, some of them like move in ways that we can't even nail it down and actually like see it or observe it. The only way we can observe it is through math. Math is telling us basically that it is there. Other than that, we can't actually see it. We can't take an image of it of any sort.
Hmm.
So how do we know what it actually does, where it goes, what it interacts with, how it interacts with it? What if these little particles are all carrying around certain things like that? You know, you have, I always tell, like, say that you can, the way you summon demons can be completely, like, unknowing. Like, if you have such a feeling of, like, malice towards somebody, even miles and miles away, if you have that, like, hatred towards them, or, like, you really just wish them, like, ill will, you will start manifesting shit like that towards them, you know, and you won't even know it. Especially people who aren't very spiritually strong, they will, you know, they will have to face those demons, you know. So what if, like, even certain things like that, like, how does that get transmitted? What if these particles carry maybe your emotion or your intent?
Right. No,
What,
absolutely.
and even love. Maybe there's a particle that carries love as well, or hell, maybe it carries both. Who the fuck knows? But
Right. No, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, how are dogs able to tell that they smell fear, right?
oh yeah,
Granted, yeah, they have a great sense of smell, but is it really them smelling fear, or is it them able to pick on those resonation of particles that are telling them something is off?
that could be. But honestly, like when dogs smell fear, quote unquote, or anything like that, they're smelling chemicals.
Right.
They're smelling the chemicals in your body,
Which
pheromones,
is the
all
result
that.
of the
Yeah,
particles, right? The
yeah, because
reaction.
I mean that's how your brain works is basically
But
chemical
how,
changes and electrical changes.
how,
So you start changing chemicals in your brain to feel these emotions. You dog can smell that, but
how do dogs smell? Because sometimes they can tell already. Like they say, if your dog, oh boy,
what you
if your
do?
dog, I didn't do
Oh,
anything. It moved
you're
on
gonna
its
have to mute.
own.
You're gonna have to
It,
mute your mic because that's gonna be loud.
no, I know.
Technical difficulties, guys. We got this.
We'll see if it stays, you guys. I don't know. Anyway, what I was saying is that everybody will tell you, hey, if your dog doesn't like somebody, then pay attention to that. Well, how do they not like somebody right off the bat?
See that?
There's
Yeah.
no there's no chemicals or anything. The person's just walking by, but your dog is going nuts. So there's something about that person. That's more of a better example here.
I think so. And maybe they smell the adrenaline, maybe. But I mean, not everybody's gonna have adrenaline. I mean, it just depends. Some people might get
Right. Look at
nervous before they do
sociopaths.
something. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, do they maybe it's a combination. Maybe they can feel that too. But I mean, think
Hmm.
about it. I mean, people are empaths. Dogs are empathic. We feel it too. So we don't smell that shit. We don't smell
Hmm.
those chemical changes, but we feel those intents from people.
Right. No, absolutely.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
and with
So
that,
has
absolute
anybody
truth there.
absolutely
Yep, listen
100%.
to your gut, kids and pets. And man, I think the kids, they're so innocent, man. They don't know, like I said, like they don't know like the white lies and the people faking. Like they don't know that people put on a facade and cover up their true intentions to mislead people. They just see people. It's almost like there's this veil that goes over your eyes when you become an adult, man. Like these kids just like see like the true form of somebody. They
Hmm.
just no, I don't like that guy. I don't go away. I don't like him.
Right.
And whereas we're like, well, what's wrong with him? He seems like he's fine. We have that veil.
Hmm. So have you any of you ever walked into a room and somebody said, I can feel your presence when you walk into a room, or felt somebody else's presence not even knowing they were in the room yet?
Oh yeah.
What about you, Stonerman?
Oh yeah.
My camera's about to fall again. It's moving.
You can pin it
It
down
won't
with
stay still.
you gotta pin it down with something. Like put something on the back end and kind of hold it. That way it won't slide. It's just too light. Who else is getting dizzy right now? Uh, there we go. We need like one of those old was it technical difficulty screen like old TV.
Baby, we would have that up every 5 seconds with us.
Oh, I know, right? Just get some elevator music to play behind it. But but yeah. What were you saying, Kitty? You're about to say something.
No, I was just asking if anybody has ever felt that
Oh, that
presence,
presence. Yeah.
or somebody said that they felt your presence and they didn't know you were there yet. What about you, Snowman?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, some people are more than others. Some people like it's like they have that creepy. They can like damn near fly under your radar. Like, fuck did you come from? Like that dude I was telling you about the other day. Like, dude, I swear that dude. Like, there's just you smile too much, man. Nobody smiles that damn much. You're always smiling. Why are you always fucking smiling? Like, I'm telling you, that dude is on drugs. For real.
He's on drugs.
He's on drugs. Georgia said, I feel. Come on, there you go. I feel like it's the energy and the vibe that fat people have when they walk in the room and you can feel that. Fat people? Is that a typo or are you being for real? In that case, everybody should know when I walk in the room.
Same here.
Got the beer gut flopping. Like, dude, I got the jiggle when I'm walking everything, man. Damn. But, man, what the fuck were we just talking about?
Babe, so you know there is.
Oh! What?
Go ahead.
No, yeah, no, we were talking about Homeboy being on fucking drugs. Alright, Georgia said not fat people. Okay. Alright, we're gonna wait for Georgia. I feel like it's the energy and the vibe people have when they walk. Okay, just when people walk into the room. I see what you're saying now. Sorry, man, been smoking, dude. It's been a week, and yeah. Bit under the
So,
influence at the moment.
Lynn,
Like, the energy
smoking.
and the vibe people have when they walk in the room, and you can feel that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
man. It's like you feel that intent. I almost feel like, that people with that, like, really positive, like, they're just, like, those people you meet in life where it's just like, they just have such a fucking, like, powerful, like, spiritual presence. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you just feel like when you, like, walk into, like, their house or something, it's just like, the energy, man, it just feels good. It's calming. Like, you can just tell, like, they are very, very positive people.
Mm-hmm.
Chuck said that's like why I wrote that Behind the Mask song. That makes sense.
Absolutely.
Georgia, yeah, phones don't understand your accent. Man, people, I answer the fucking phone, man, people are just I say my name, and they're like, Billy? Hey, Billy, how you doing? Where the hell are you getting Billy? What the fuck?
That's funny.
Every
Everything is a vibe, and we are energy that feeds off energy. So if you pay attention, you can tell the ones who are being untrue to themselves. Absolutely. You can feel it.
Oh
You can
yeah.
feel it, or you feel like a static or something. Absolutely, Woodchuck. Um, and
Or
the
like
thing with
sponges.
it, yeah. Hmm.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, thank you.
No, you're good.
But yeah, dude, homeboy's on drugs. Alright, guys, so I just gotta say something. Alright, so anybody who's seen my like lunchbox wisdom and shit, that kind of how I kicked off with all this shit, man. Alright, so if there's a business owner, and I have to get this off my chest, man. I know I've done some shit on Instagram with it too. If you're a business owner and you have somebody who is potentially going to bring you, you know, anywhere between 100,000 and like $300,000 of work every year for God knows how long, and he's shows up to pay you, and you say you don't want to deal with him, and that he can come back later when he is there during operating hours, is that a smart move? Or like, am I being an asshole here? Is that just fucking ridiculous, dude? Like, I'm kind of just paraphrasing with the whole situation, but you know, would you do that? Like, no, I
If
mean that
I
should be
was
a fucking priority.
So the way I tend to look at that situation, and I know the situation, right? But I'm going to take myself outside of that and I'm going to put myself in the customer's shoes, who is the person that's paying the money. And if I have been steady and true and constantly bringing you work, and I show up, and maybe it is outside of business hours, but I have a crazy schedule too. My schedule doesn't actually even fit in the 9 to 5. Sometimes I'm like up earlier than 9, and sometimes I'm out there until like dark, until 8 or 9, to make sure things are getting done. And I come in after hours. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm coming in after hours, but I want to make sure my stuff is ordered because I have deadlines. And I know I have to pay money to get my materials to get everything built for me. So I, me as the customer, I would feel like that was a slap in the face. That's just me though.
Well, not just a slap in the face, but I mean, man, you're doing, you know, construction, man, and you've got people that you're contracted to, and you know, like you said, you have deadlines, and you need to know that your subcontractors are gonna have their shit together and take care of you and to do what you need to do them to do. You know, do it well, do it in a timely manner, and you get treated like that, you lose faith in your subcontractor. You're like, no, these people don't have their shit together. I'm not gonna fucking do business with y'all. If I'm gonna be treated like this, like, dude, they want to be a priority, and it's understandable, man. They're not, you know, it's like you get the opposite. You get these people that are like, hey, I need this little fucking piece of shit fixed real quick. Let me bring it in. And they're pissed off that you can't stop everything you're doing dealing with like high volume customers to do it right then for them. Like, hey, I gotta order this. It's gonna take a couple days, but we'll get you fixed up. Well, I just don't understand why I have to wait. Look, guys. First off, I can't control it. It's not something. It's a custom item. I you can't like we don't stock it. Okay, like you want us to stock every fucking piece of like size and type and everything of fucking glass that there is. You know, like come on, man. Like, dude, we're out here dealing with like builders and contractors and stuff. You are a priority, of course. You're a customer, but man, you gotta think that hey, you know, you can't just show up and expect something right then and there. We don't have somebody on site to do that because I mean, you know, those little walk-ins like that are kind of rare, you know. But I mean, dude, anywhere you if you want to show up and try to do a walk-in, you know, say, hey, you know, do you accept walk-ins? Can I pop in real quick? If not, you gotta understand, hey, this isn't the you know a place that I can do that, or maybe I should call ahead and check. You know, just I feel like that's just courtesy, man. That's what I would do. But you know when yeah you want to trust in your subcontractors so to be treated like that and to take it a step further and when that customer gets annoyed rightfully annoyed and told that he has to come back some other time and then you go as far as to call him an asshole and say you don't even want to do business with him and you want to piss away you know a few 100,000. Don't bitch that you don't have money.
Right. Why were they saying that they didn't want to deal with them anymore because they were an asshole? Like,
Yeah, because they were upset that they were told they have to come back later when they show up during normal business hours, and there is somebody there
oh,
who
because they were
can take,
upset.
yeah, who there's somebody there who can take their money, but they
Okay.
just don't fucking want to do it.
So the
And I'm not
customer
saying this
was,
is just just an employee, like, yeah, get rid of their ass. No, this is fucking the owner of a fucking company.
so the customer was upset because they were told to come back later, wait, whatever, right? Understandably so, because they're trying to give their hard-earned cash to somebody who is able to take it right then and there. And the owner got upset because
The customer got upset.
the customer got upset and the owner called that person an asshole even though the customer didn't do anything wrong.
All because they didn't want to deal with him at the moment. I don't know a whole lot
Wow.
more important than a job like that, man. Like, I mean, dude, you find customers like that, and you may say, well, hey, it's only $100,000. I mean, if you're doing, a couple million a year, yeah, that might not be too big of a hit, but I mean, say his volume goes up, he gets more work, he hits a really fucking big job. That could go up to 500,000, and then he throws your name out everywhere he goes, and all of his buddies start calling you, and they bring you 50,000 or 100,000 each a year. I mean, dude, that could be an extra couple fucking million over the course of a couple of years if you treat that customer right. Like, you gotta think long term like that, man. I mean, dude, that's why even the small customers, man, there have been some small customers that come in with some just really small fry shit, and they're like, hey, you know what? My son, has a construction company or whatever. We're gonna recommend or something like that, man. That's how that's how word of mouth gets around with a lot of small like contractors and businesses like that. You never know who these people might know. They might be very well connected.
Right. And that kind
So
of makes,
everybody you have to treat with care. I mean, of course, in priority to an extent. Go ahead, kid.
oh, I was just saying that kind of made me think of what is that Bible verse that treat everyone kind for even strangers kindly for you may be entertaining angels.
I think yeah, something like that.
It's something to that effect. And the reason why that makes me think of that, yeah, I mean, we're not literally talking about angels. We're just talking about, like, you never know. That person could be like a metaphorical angel to you in your business that comes into your life that you didn't know where they came from. But it's because you were kind to another customer and they gave you such a great word of mouth. They then pass that customer along to you.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, I can't tell you how many people like contractors and stuff I've met that that's how they got basically set up in life, man. They were getting small little jobs here and there, nothing enough to even ready to keep the lights on, but that one day they hit that one lick and it's done, man. And, they're set. They get enough money, they can go and build their business up and take care of themselves and their families, and they take off like wildfire after that, man. You know, but
Mm,
sometimes it's hey, I just ran into somebody who knew somebody. Sometimes it's hey, this guy was talking about me all over town, and sure enough, boom, he talked to the right guy who was like, hey, I'm gonna give him a call.
right.
But I've seen so many of these contractors make dumbass fucking moves like that right there, and cannot figure out why they're not making money.
Right.
And I'm like, guys, you gotta stop making bad decisions like this. You've got to stop being so concerned with shit that is meaningless in the grand scheme of things, shit that 95% of other business owners out there don't even give a shit about because they realize it doesn't fucking mean anything and it's fucking pointless or it's a waste of fucking time. Like, stop focusing on dumb shit and focus on what's important. Taking
Mhm.
care of your business, your livelihood.
Right. And I'm really curious because, again, independent artists, this is like their own business.
Yeah,
How would you guys relate that to the small business situation in that circumstance?
heck yeah.
I would
That's a
love
good
to hear
question.
that.
Heck yeah.
I'll be right back.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just, I just, I think people really have their priorities so fucked up, man, and it's bleeding into fucking everywhere in their lives. Like, I mean, it's like I always say, educate yourself, man, and have common sense. Understand the big picture, man. Stop, nitpicking dumb shit all the time. But anyway, I know, there's those people out there, but you know, dude, this is another killer of the small businesses, man. There's, people not trying to actually grow themselves, man. They try to kick something off and they get either greedy or they get dumb. They try to grow into something that they can't handle because they have not prepared themselves for, and they end up failing, man. I mean, when you can compare the numbers between a company that does things the way you do and a company who does shit completely different and their numbers are better, I mean, better numbers, better productivity. Better productivity comes from, you know, having good crews and having people who, take pride in their work, being selective about who you hire, and making sure that they are going to complement, the team you already have, making sure that they are going to be, basically a gear that's going to fit. It's not going to bind up, the whole fucking mechanism. Like, a company is a well-oiled machine, man. Everything has to run smoothly, and you got that one dude fucking around that, that kills it for everybody. But, you know, um, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm ranting on some shit. This is going off topic of, the lighthearted stuff I was about to do, but uh, it's been a week, guys. It's been a week. Hasn't been a little bit. As an independent artist, if someone is trying to help, I'm open for it. I want to get better. If I suck, I want people to be honest and tell me what I can do to improve. Heck yeah, man. And, you know, people don't help enough, man. Like, it's like the whole, we've talked about before, the sharing of information. Like, people are greedy with information. Look at universities, man. They're greedy. And, even with life skills, man, and, or, talents, like being an artist and, like having, that artistic skill, to be able to hone that and fine tune that, man, being able to learn from people who came before you who have, struggled with the same roadblocks that you're, facing now. So many people, no matter what it is, they want to be greedy, They don't want to say everything, and they want to kind of string you along with tidbits. It's like, man, let's teach people, man. Let's all teach each other, dude. You can never stop learning. The day you stop learning is the day you're done for. Let's all teach each other, man. I can teach people a lot of shit. I can learn a lot of shit from many different people, man. You know, there's so much knowledge out there and so many different trades and talents. You know, let's teach each other more shit. I'm down for that. What about you, Kitty?
Came out at the tail end of that, but yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, that was just kind of a little rant. Like I said, I need to get that shit off my chest there. But like I said, tonight is the chewing the fat episode. So that leads me to something a little fun we're gonna do here. How many people have heard of that chewing the fat? I'm sure all you people in the South know. This is mainly for the Northerners, but so chewing the fat. What would you call that, Dead Kitty? What is that called? Kitty?
There we go. Basically, going through, just basically talking with whatever may come up. Chewing the fat is kind of gnawing your way through some stuff, like
Yeah,
literally.
I mean, like, it can be gossip, it can be just talking and, shooting shit, bullshitting. But I was
Right.
asking, like, what is it? Like, what is that phrase called? Do you know? Does anybody know?
Actually, I'm not sure.
It's called an idiom.
Hmm.
You never heard of an idiom?
No, I know what an idiom
IODIO.
is. I thought you were meaning, I thought the way you asked that, I thought you were saying, what does that phrase mean, like as in another phrase,
Oh,
not
no.
grammar wise what it was.
No, no.
Okay.
So, let's have a little fun here. Dad Kitty, can you name an idiom?
Yeah, absolutely. Wow, now I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Georgia, yes, that's what I think of too, man. I think of those fucking old men sitting there drinking their coffee and bullshitting. Alright. Anybody in the chat? Anybody know any good idioms? I'll give you
Like,
my favorite. Oh, go ahead, Kitty.
go ahead.
I
I
have to
want to
say
hear
my
yours.
my favorite is like grease lightning.
Mm.
Say something like, that was quicker than grease lightning.
Grass greener on the other side, would that be one?
Um,
I don't know.
maybe that's actually
Maybe.
let's find out. While we're waiting on the chat, let's find out. Yep, it is an idiom. Heck yeah, Kitty.
Mm.
Get the hell out of Dodge.
Make like a tree and get out of here. From
Good
Back to
old
the
Biff.
Future.
Good old Biff. Alright. Chinaman's Chance. That won't get us banned. Up Shit Creek.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Come on, guys. Let's hear yours. Let's
Can
hear yours.
bring a horse to water.
Yep.
That one.
The dog ate my homework. Eating crow. Going postal. Oh, this one gets banned. You ready?
Let's go.
Indian giver.
Mm-hmm. And it shouldn't be
Dude.
because they're not even talking about the Indians there. They're talking about the white people they gave to the Indians and then took it back, like with
Oh,
every
yeah.
treaty.
But dude, that's like the
That makes
whole
no sense.
you can't wear a headdress. Like, what? How is that racist? I don't understand.
Up shit creek.
That's a good old one there. Let's see. I'll be there, bells on. Georgia said up creek without a paddle. Yep. Let's see here. Beat the clock. Blood, sweat, and tears. Till the bottom falls out. Bring home the bacon. Even a broken watch is right twice a day. I've always liked that one. I really always liked that one.
Can you repeat that one?
Even a broken watch is right twice a day.
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, even if you're always fucking wrong about everything, every now and then you're gonna be right at least
Right.
once in a great while.
Absolutely. You know where the bring home the bacon, where that came from?
Mm-mm.
So back in pre-Renaissance era, probably like the Dark Ages, right? Um, People were very poor because a lot of these countries were feudalist countries where they had kings and queens, and then everybody else were peasants, pretty much, except for you had your nobility right up there with the kings and queens, but everybody else were peasants. And the saying "bring home the bacon" actually came from that era because people were so poor, nobody could afford to bring home, like, buy, unless they had like a pig that they could actually do that themselves for their own household other than sell it, you know.
Yeah.
So they would actually hang the pig fat, the bacon, on, like, over by their front door to let people know like they were doing well.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And
Huh.
they would also make sure to offer this whenever they had company over. So that's where that whole bring home the bacon came from.
Interesting. I always like hearing that, like the backstory of the how some of these came along.
Hmm.
So like burning the midnight oil. You know, of course, that was them burning the oil lamps before electricity.
Hmm.
I know that one. Don't cry over spilt milk.
Let's see where that one came from. I know that one came from somewhere. Hold on.
Cook someone's goose. What else we got? Don't count your chickens before they've hatched.
So
That was obvious.
don't cry over spilled milk actually came from, it was traced back to a poem by James Howell in 1659 where he used a similar expression about spilled milk to emphasize the futility on dwelling on past mistakes. Over time, the phrase evolved to its current form and became part of everyday language.
Interesting. That's another good one here. Don't judge a book by its cover. Let the cat out of the bag. Line your ducks in a row. Piece of cake. Pull the wall over someone's eyes. seeing red. I'm sure this list isn't even all of them. This is about, I think, 399
Right.
different English idioms. What else we got? One tough cookie until hell freezes over. Yellow bellied. Always makes me think of Back to the Future 3.
Mm-hmm.
Call me yellow one more time. So has anyone seen, Kate, what was it, the conspiracy theory about Back to the Future 2 predicting 9/11? Isn't that one you showed me?
Yeah, I think it was a combination, but a lot of it was Back to the Future too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it tied into like the end of one a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, there's some fucking crazy ones, man. Hollywood is telling us all, like you said, it's for that permission. You have to get our permission.
Right. So, and I didn't know that there's actually, and I have to do some research to make sure that this is a true quote. But Aleister Crowley, okay, is reported as saying, and he was, oh my gosh, what degree Mason? Freemason was he? He was very top level Freemason, and he was into magic with a K, all sorts of like black magic stuff like that as well. But anyway, he was quoted as saying the reason why you have to do that is because you can't do that. You can't just deceive somebody in that way. You almost have to get permission from the deceiver for you to deceive them.
Yeah, which makes sense, man. You know,
Hmm.
kind of going with the contracts. You know, you have to agree. All magic is or is really a contract. All
Everything
right.
was contracts.
So, does anybody know the conspiracy theory about Finland not actually existing?
What?
Yeah, so apparently Russia and Japan fabricated Finland's existence. Yeah,
How so?
I'm not sure. Let me look into that one.
Because you had Vikingers that came from Finland as well.
All right. So, according to this, the Finland conspiracy states that Finland is not a real country. Not only is it not a real country, but there is actually no land mass there at all. And the space between Sweden and Russia is actually empty ocean.
What?
Yep. So it looks like it's something about fishing rights between Japan and Russia. Something about Japan can fish in the region between Sweden and Russia without worry for environmental repercussions. And Russia gets a percentage of the fish to distribute amongst their populace. Huh. So apparently they're also saying that it was somehow um, all an excuse to build the Trans-Siberian Railway. And when they were actually shipping the fish under the guise of Nokia products, like the old Nokia phones.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. And even people who say they're from Finland genuinely believe it because they're told that they live in Finland, but actually they are living in the western part, the eastern part of Sweden, the western part of Russia, or the northern part of Estonia. Huh. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, the area that Finland is supposedly like exists in is not a land of forest at all. There is no forest land there at all. Huh.
I definitely have to do some research on that one, baby.
So apparently, according to this, basically the entire world acknowledges Finland's existence, even though they know it's not like doesn't actually exist, as a sign of goodwill between the Western countries and the Soviet Union. And Finland has evolved to be an idealistic placeholder for what countries should aspire to be. A real country that has education, healthcare, gender equality, literacy rates, and national stability, the least corrupt government in the world, freedom of the press, and it is a concept for countries and people to aspire to be. So that's supposedly why the whole world acknowledges Finland exists, even though they don't. It doesn't actually exist.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah,
And
because
they're saying, oh, sorry, go ahead.
whenever you read statistics on, let's say, agriculture, what their politics are, how they do things, or whatever it may be, just like you listed, you'll see, the flag of whatever country and what ranking they are, and Finland is always in there.
Yeah. Well, according to this, it's all been forged. Maps, like, basically, like, since forever, this has been forged. So I could see, like, modern day, like, Google Maps or Google Earth and shit. I could see that. But I don't see that having been forged, hundreds of years ago. Like, that's not jiving with me there at all. What about you?
What was the question?
I said I don't believe that maps would have been forged for hundreds of years like that. I believe
Hmm.
now, like with Google Earth and shit, they could. Absolutely, but I don't believe
Right,
Finland
like
was
the old
forged that long
maps.
ago. Yeah, I don't
Like the
believe that.
old maps, like before America was founded,
Yeah.
founded, like found whatever, however you want to put it.
So what about this one? Bill Gates is making fake snow. Has anyone heard that one?
Mm-mm,
You ever heard that one?
mm-mm.
So, according to this theory, is that the snow actually, instead of melting, it burns. So it is flammable.
Hmm.
Kitty, you there?
I am.
Okay.
It sounds like pretty much they're setting the stage for something with that.
Yeah,
Can
that
you hear
wouldn't
me?
surprise. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Okay. Yeah.
So what about King Charles is actually related to Vlad the Impaler?
I mentioned that. I said
Have you?
that in a couple episodes ago. Yeah.
Did you?
I was the
Really?
one. Yeah,
I
babe.
don't remember that about that. So
Baby.
there's also a theory that he is a vampire.
Mm-hmm. I went over that too.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Well, my bad.
That's okay. That's why they call us the Smoke-N-Sass cast. If we bring up something more than once, audience, just feel free to let us know in the comments. We'll try to rectify that on the next episode. Yeah, no, I brought that up with King Charles and Vlad the Impaler when we were talking about our Nephilim and the music
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
Because there's something to older, like monsters, like werewolves, vampires,
Oh
well, Nephilim, whatever, that we could physically see about or know about right now, but they actually did exist. So, anyway, yeah, I went into that
yeah.
a little bit on that episode.
Heck yeah. Not bad. I smoked some. So, do you know like what he had that like is the reason behind the claim that he is a vampire?
Um, well, he had quite a bit of knowledge. He was the one who had this ancient and lost library underneath his palace, which they are still trying to get to, or they have gotten to, or they're trying to get into, or something like that. But as far as being a vampire, I'm not really sure on that, if you want to go into that.
So he actually had something called porphyria, which is a group of genetic disorders affecting the body's ability to produce, I believe it's called Heme, which is a crucial component of hemoglobin. This process involves several steps, and if a specific enzyme is deficient, the body accumulates porphyrins or their precursors, leading to various symptoms. These symptoms can range from skin sensitivity to neurological problems and can be triggered by certain factors.
So the
Uh,
pale skin from like the vampire, because I mean, who was Bram Bram Stoker? Stoker, right? Bram
yeah,
Stoker. He's the one who wrote the first account of Dracula, and it was based upon Vlad the Impaler. Um, and so like that pale skin stuff, like that kind of matches. But another thing, if y'all want to really kind of think about the whole vampire thing, I know that there is a link there. I don't know for sure, but if we all just kind of think about it and what we know about certain elite now, they drink blood. They like
yeah.
their achrome. What's the difference between them and
And
vampires?
and see, dude, like we're so misconceived. Like we're, we're we we have such a misconstrued image of what a vampire is, thanks to fucking Twilight. We think it's all fucking romance and fucking sparkles running around and shit, dude. Like, this is not what fucking vampires are, man. I mean, dude, even like a decent horror movie, man, that's not like what a lot of these creatures are. You know, vampires exist, they're just not what Hollywood tells you they are. Georgia said, that's crazy because snow is supposed to melt, but I did know something else about the ice and the snow we had a while back. It wouldn't melt in some places, and it was warming up a little bit. Yeah, that's weird, man. Especially if it's right in the sun. Yeah, that shit should be melting, dude.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Absolutely. He go
go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead.
He is saying that he would love to go investigate that castle. Also, I would too, Georgia Redneck.
Oh
I
yeah.
want to see that library. That's what I want to investigate. I want to be able to like read all of it. It's not in my language, but have somebody there that can like interpret it to where I can read it or something or something. I would love that.
Oh yeah. That would be cool, man. Just imagine going to like an old castle like that, dude, and just like walking around. Like, just imagine like what happened there and all the history and shit.
Hmm. And another interesting thing about the vampire and the blood and the achroom, right? And to tie it all back in together, Stoner Man, was what you started off at the beginning. Anybody know about King Charles being related to Vlad the Impaler, right?
Yeah.
What is the most recent stuff that came out from James O'Keefe and O'Keefe Media Group, and which we already kind of knew, but he kind of tied it together about Prince Andrew, who is King Charles's brother, being involved with underage.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And go ahead.
so, I mean, I know that's kind of a loose tie, but I mean, if you think about it, all those dots kind of do connect. And if you actually look back in history and all the hunting parties that they did back in the day, they weren't always animals, they were hunting.
Mm-mm.
They made a game out of it.
Oh yeah. And there's still
So,
places like that too. They still
mhm,
exist.
mhm. So if you think about it, if he was inspired as like a vampire type, and then you've got his descendants on the throne acting shady, doing weird stuff,
Oh yeah.
right? Just
Well, I
saying.
think, yeah. Well, I think the whole royal family is fucking evil. I think there have been and maybe still be a few diamonds in the rough, but we'll see.
I used to not think that. I really wanted to believe Elizabeth was like better. I mean, she's a better queen. I will tell you that. King Charles hadn't done shit except for let his country go down the pooper. I'm not saying like she was so much better. I mean, she was much better, but like she wasn't perfect. But I mean, I was still really hoping that she was one that wasn't like that, you know.
Yeah. So did anybody hear about the human remains being found like right outside Taylor Swift's house?
I
Weird,
heard
huh?
about that. Yeah.
Fucking weird. Man, I have not been keeping up with news or anything for like probably really 2 weeks at least. I don't even know what's been going on out there, Kitty.
Hmm. This is something I wanted to talk about. This is something you're probably going to go deep on, baby. It's
Hell yeah,
something I
hit me.
talked about with you last night, but you were asleep, kind of. Scientists at CERN have turned lead into gold
Oh, I remember that.
using the Large Hadron Collider particle accelerator. They've achieved what ancient alchemists only dreamed of, transforming lead atoms into gold through high energy physics. Okay, let's go, Stoner Man. This is
Alright,
crazy.
alright, so I'm gonna start this off with this. Anybody ever watched Full Metal Alchemist? I have started, I have not finished Brotherhood. Um, I know everybody has like their own opinion on which version is better, so I can't say. But I have watched the original Full Metal, and man, if anybody has not watched that, Brotherhood I think jumps into it from what I've seen so far a little more head on, but like it takes a while to get going. But man, once you're about halfway through, you're gonna be hooked, and by the end, it's just mind blowing. But basically, it's about these two brothers and all this group of alchemists. And to anybody who doesn't know what true alchemy is, it is basically the manipulation of matter, chemistry. Chemistry is not chemicals; it's the study of matter. But the rule And this isn't just from Full Metal Alchemist. I mean, this is an actual theory. It's theory. It's a law, what they call a law. It is the law of equivalent exchange. So basically, I always talk about there's the positive and negative in the world, and everything, fucking everywhere, at all times, there's positive and negative. You have to have that balance. That's why negative exists, is because it balances positive. Positive goes out of control, negative goes out of control. They balance each other, creates a harmony. So, it's the same with matter. You can't destroy matter. You can't get rid of it. You can only change it. When you burn something down, say you build a shitty throne that you get slapped together, a little wooden structure, and you set it on fire, you burn it down. Did you destroy that matter? No. You changed it. You changed the matter. So you can't destroy matter you can't just get rid of it without putting something back in its place. If anybody's ever watched Fringe, that show's a good show. They go into this too, and I don't want to spoil it, but when they're basically talking about like rips in the, like these wormholes where shit is moving between dimensions, like different realities. It's almost the same thing, man. They took something out of one reality and it caused problems because there was no balance anymore. The equation was not complete. So, you have to have, no matter what you do, you have to have that law of equivalent exchange. Even in chemistry, you have to balance your equations. Everything has to match. If you say you have three molecules together and you want to change that, you can't just get rid of the molecules. You have to account for them. You have to split them up, and they have to go somewhere, or they have to bond to something else, another molecule. Like, what's a good one? Hydrogen peroxide, H2O2, two hydrogen, two oxygen, okay? So that's highly, like, what's the word I'm looking for here? It decays quick. So that's why you get your hydrogen peroxide in a brown bottle, is because that brown bottle, as opposed to like an alcohol bottle, where it's clear, or translucent, you're letting light into there. The more you keep light out, remember light is a catalyst, it can speed up a reaction. So you keep that light out, and the good hydrogen peroxide bottles, and these are hard to find, are the accordion style. They're like that, so you can push the air out, because the less air in there, the slower it will decay. But that second oxygen molecule will start to fall off. And when you remove one oxygen from H2O2, what do you have? H2O, water. That hydrogen peroxide will eventually break down into nothing but water. So, if you are, where I'm going with this, if you're turning lead into gold, are you manipulating that matter? Are you somehow adding, you know, protons and neutrons and electrons to that to make a new element to turn it into something gold? Because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, lead is lower on the table than gold. It might be like, no, I think it is lower. So you'd have to add to it. Are they adding, like, all the necessary particles to make new molecules from that lead? Or how is this working? Because what was supposedly able to turn lead into gold? Kitty?
Can you repeat that question?
What was able to turn lead into gold?
I'm not sure.
The Philosopher's Stone.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. I thought you were
The
talking about a
Philosopher's
specific
Stone.
metal. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
And what is crazy is, what I think about is, dude, Full Metal Alchemist try not to have any spoilers here, but fucking anybody hasn't watched it, spoiler alert here. You know, when you have to make a large sacrifice to be able to create that stone, you know, what if it's more than just having the right combination of molecules? What if it's something more that needs to go into something that powerful?
Yeah.
Because supposedly, what was it, Newton? Newton knew how to make the Philosopher's Stone, or he had it. And dude, there are even people, and fuck, this is gonna get us banned real quick. There's a book out there. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. There's a book out there that actually tells you how you can make the Philosopher's Stone. And supposedly it is with human urine.
Hmm.
You can there's a process where you can basically extract the necessary like essence of your life force and shit from your urine and create it. It's a very long process. Like I think it takes like 6 months to a year or something. But supposedly you can do it. But there for a while, anybody who's ever fucked with the dark web and shit, like there are recipes out there and shit like that, man.
Hmm.
It really makes you wonder, and like, you know, some of these people are just like never heard from again. Were they crazy? You know, were they full of shit? Were they some weirdos like locked in their mom's basement at fucking 50 years old or something, like thinking that they made the fucking Philosopher's Stone with their fucking piss bottles, or were these people onto something?
Absolutely. So, based upon what we know from alchemy, what you've mentioned from alchemy, Stoner Man, the fact that the Large Hadron Collider from CERN can do this, what is the cost? That's my question. What is the cost?
Yeah. And like I was trying to point out, there doesn't necessarily have to be a cost. This wasn't necessarily done, you know, in a way where something bad is going to happen in return. Not saying that. I don't know. I wasn't fucking there. But we are
But you
going
have to give
to a
something.
level where we thought was only possible with a fabled stone that we didn't even know if it was ever real to begin with.
Mhm. But you have to give something to get something. That's basically what you're saying, right?
If yeah, but you can also, like I said, you can rearrange.
Mm-hmm.
So you can rearrange. So say, you know, you need here, let's so I'm not just working off of arbitrary fucking numbers here. Let me pull this up and let's do this with some visuals here.
While you're doing that, I'm going to read my comment from the AI overview that I put in the live chat. Goals of alchemists: number one, transmutation of base metals, turning base metals into gold, which is also called cryposia, I believe. I may be mispronouncing that. The second goal is elixir of immortality, creating a potion that would grant eternal life. And then the third goal is panacea, creating a universal cure for all diseases, perfection of the human body and soul. The quote, great work, end quote, aimed at achieving spiritual and physical enlightenment.
Hmm.
So that's interesting.
Blow this up here. There we go. Maybe. Alright, I'm getting it pulled up here, guys. anybody just now joining in, we are going over how the Hadron Collider supposedly turned lead into gold. And this is what I'm trying to explain here, if I can get it up. Come on, work with me. Where the hell did it go? Go. Fuck off. Right. Not you guys. Where the hell did it go? I saved the damn thing. What the hell, man? Anybody have a fucking periodic table handy? Good lord. Alright, maybe I can get it up this way. Nope. I'm working, guys, I'm working. Crickets, crickets, crickets. Alright, Katie, I need you to fill this space, dead air space for me, please. I am having issues.
Okay. So, another little piece, and what he's talking about with the Philosopher's Stone, White Files actually goes into that theory on their show. They're on YouTube. I suggest you check that out. Also, another part that they also go into, it's a two-part series. Who's heard of Saint Germain? And so if you've heard of Saint Germain, awesome. If you have not, Saint Germain was supposedly this dude that they found and they captured. He spoke all these different languages, but he spoke in a very unique accent. And he was just like the life of the party back in those days. Like, he'd show up at some noble's house and he would talk about like events from the Bible like he was there. Like to that kind of crazy level. You know, he could play almost any instrument. He was very knowledgeable. He knew all the current events and all the past events. And everything else. And there was this one time he went over to this noble's house, and the mother-in-law recognized him and said, "I remember you. You came over to my parents back when I was a little girl, but you look the same age." He still looked like he was in his 40s.
Wow.
So supposedly Saint Germain was an immortal dude. And according to the legend, they believe that of course he was according to the legend, he was an alchemist and he figured out how to create a philosopher's stone. And he made himself immortal. Now, there are other versions of that completely go against that narrative. So do your research on that, but that's a fun one.
Heck yeah. I guess I'm having hella trouble getting this to fucking pull up here. So I was trying to get the exact numbers here and all that, but so basically, I can't blow the damn image up to where I can actually see anything. So we're talking about gold and lead. So lead is Pb. I'm trying to find it on here on the periodic table. And then gold is Au. Okay, so here's gold. We see that. Now, where is Pb? Okay, so lead is actually heavier than gold, and as far as atomic mass. So Therefore, it has more electrons and protons. So basically what I was saying is to turn lead into gold, you would basically have to remove enough protons and electrons to step it down. So you have
Okay.
one, two, three. So you have two elements in between gold and lead. That one is, I believe, mercury. I believe Hg was mercury. Anybody correct me if I'm wrong. And Ti, I believe, is titanium.
Mm-hmm.
I could be a little rusty on this. Like I said, I cannot see this. All I can see are the atomic symbols. But so basically, if you remove, so supposedly every time you add a proton electron, you're creating another element. That's why they're all mapped out as they are. They're in order of their atomic mass. So basically, if you were to remove enough protons and electrons, you could step that lead molecule down to a gold molecule. Just like I was saying with hydrogen peroxide, H2O2, you remove an oxygen, which will naturally happen anyway over time, especially with light. Then you have water. You're changing that molecule.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so if you can remove and actually change that atom itself from
Right.
I was saying molecule, or I mean atom, change that atom itself from lead to gold by removing enough protons and electrons,
Mm-hmm.
then you're not you're not doing anything nefarious by doing that. It
Mm-hmm.
happens all the time in nature. So
Right.
what the question is, whatever they are removing, if that is the method they're using, what are they doing with those excess protons and electrons? Where are they going?
Mm-hmm.
Which electrons can be turned into electricity, that could be energy, but where are the protons going?
Mm-hmm.
Are they being harvested somehow, maybe for like proton acceleration, or like are they being used to create a different atom somewhere else, different element? Like that's what I'm curious
Right.
about. Like it has to go somewhere. Are they just sending it off into the fucking atmosphere? What's going on?
Right.
But that's what I'm saying. You can't just make it disappear. It has to go somewhere. It has to do something.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, if you think of it from an observation theory, if you're not even observing it, is it even there to begin with? How's
Yes.
that for a mind fuck for you?
Yeah.
So maybe if the observation isn't on it, then it's not a need. It won't actually be there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's the workaround behind the law of equivalent exchange.
Right.
Like I said, or like the Matrix said, you can't change the rules. You can just bend them.
Right.
So maybe we just have to learn how to bend the rules. I mean, they say we can't go faster than the speed of light. What if we just bend the rules on that a little bit? Shit, Star Trek did. That's how they did it.
Right.
Which, I'm not a Trekkie, so I can't go deep into the explanation of that one. But Star Trek does have some cool shit. Speaking of, there's a book. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of it or read it, but it's really, really fucking cool. The Science of Superman. It actually goes into a breakdown of all of Superman's abilities because there's a shit ton, and like basically how that would work, like in real life, like what rule like laws of physics would need to be in place, and like on a scientific level how you could do that. Like, does anybody remember the episode where he actually, I think, I'm sure it was Lois, but was trapped in like a lead fucking like building, and he couldn't get through it, so he like basically vibrated himself so fast that he actually matched the vibration of the wall and was actually able to like, go through the fucking wall. I mean, like that. I mean, if you could move your body in at a certain speed and be able to like control it, and I mean, you could go through a wall. You could go through solid matter. How do you do that? How do you make your body do something like that, though? That's the question. But makes you kind of think about maybe, superheroes and shit, comic books. Maybe that's not really all that far out, dude. I mean, what is a comic book other than basically just some science fiction? And science
Right.
fiction is slowly becoming truth.
No,
So,
absolutely. Absolutely. And anybody ever watched that show? It was supposed to be like a documentary. It was that dude from Heroes, the bad guy
oh
from
yeah,
Heroes. Xander? Was his name Xander? I don't know. Anyway, the
Siler.
Tyler, that's right, Tyler. He hosted the show and he would go over true stories of people doing like really crazy heroic things. There's this one that I remember off the top of my head before I couldn't find the show anymore, where this dude had pulled over because he had seen a car wreck happen. And he got out of his vehicle, went to go help. The car started, catching fire. And he couldn't like open the door. And I think there was a kid in the back seat or something screaming. So then he was like freaking out because there was also a kid. And he pulled the door off the car.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Like that
adrenaline's a
level.
hell of a thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's kind of
absolutely.
like Stan Lee's superheroes. I think it only had
Mhm.
like a season, maybe two, but basically like hosted by Stan Lee. But he would go out and like see these people with abilities and stuff like that. I mean, people who could like. I think there's one guy he could basically run on a treadmill, just high speed, just nonstop. Like he didn't get winded or out of breath or tired. He was like a fucking machine. Like, how do you do that, man? I think he went like an hour or something. Like, just balls to the wall. Never got tired or anything. There's another dude. He was a beatboxer. I remember that one. But he could make any fucking instrument sound. And I'm not talking about like he was playing a few notes on a guitar. I mean he was like full on like playing a band of like drums and like guitar and all of this shit like at the same time. Like, dude, that shit's incredible, man. But just like some weird talents and shit like that and abilities, but it was cool. They kind of went into a little bit of a scientific breakdown of it,
Hmm.
but it just makes you think. What you think is impossible is it really impossible?
Right.
Those things you're told growing up, hey, that's just fiction or fantasy or whatever. Is that really all it is? Or was
Hmm.
that just what our parents knew at the time to be true because, we didn't know what we know now. But well, heck yeah, guys. Well, we was kind of fucking around tonight, like I said, shooting the shit, chewing the fat a little bit, doing idioms. But it's been a hell of a week, guys. So, like I said, we were just kind of flying by the seat of our pants. Another idiom. Talking about some shit, no real plan or anything like that. But thank y'all for joining in, man. It's been a hell of a week. I know we've kind of been tripping over our words and shit tonight. We are a little bit under the influence. It's been a long week, so we are unwinding. But um, yeah, I know Memorial Week is coming up, or Memorial Weekend is coming up, and yeah, I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready. Ready to do some grilling. Food, cold beer. Yeah. Everybody throw up your favorite beer in the chat, man. Cora's right here. Actually, let me do that. Hashtag. Ah. Georgia said, I'm a die-hard X-Men fan. The old shows, the movies. I'm a nerd when it comes to X-Men. I have a figure of Wolverine on my desk where I edit music. Dude, that's fucking badass, man.
Awesome. Hell yeah.
Dude, that theme song in the old X-Men show. That was the shit, dude. Man, Georgia, I'm sure you'll appreciate this, man. It was somewhere on Apple Music. I think they ended up taking it down or whatever. It's still on YouTube. I'll see if I can find it, man. But somebody did like a metal version of like all the old fucking like TV show themes. So you got fucking X-Men, was it Captain Planet, fucking Ninja Turtles, Thundercats, like all kinds of shit, dude. It was fucking badass, dude. Like hell yeah, Pokemon was on there, dude. That shit was awesome, dude. But yeah, dude, Wolverine is the shit, man. Logan, like I love that movie, man. Just I hate the fucking ending to it, man. Like, you know, I don't know why they did it like that, but it was cool seeing his daughter kind of jump in and take over. So, but yeah, I'd say Spider-Man used to be my favorite growing up. I really like Spider-Man, but I'd have to say I'd say Iron Man. Iron Man is the shit.
Of course you would like Iron Man.
Like, dude, that would totally be me if I had that kind of fuck you money. Hell yeah. Be building fucking all kinds of shit, fucking suits and shit. Fucking, alright. Time to take, like, actually fucking do something with my life. Let's go fucking fuck some bad guys shit up.
Totally.
Hell yeah. Anybody else think Mickey Rourke kinda just got weird? Like, he really did. I don't know, man, just I guess he's always been weird. I mean, I don't know, man. For a dude to wear that much makeup, he had some good parts though. Fucking anybody is Expendables 4 out? I think it is. Dude, I really lost interest in that. I have not seen 4. It just kind of looks stupid, man. Like the first one and even the second one, man. That was the shit. I felt like 3 was kind of weak, but just seeing all the old action stars get back together, man. Yeah, the fucking corny one-liners and shit, man. But you know, it was still fun. I think they should have stopped it too. But all right, last one for the night, guys. Just because we're on the topic, favorite action like movie, like. But you got like Nobody. Nobody was a good one. If anybody's seen that with the guy who played Better Call Saul in Breaking Bad, he actually played a badass fucking part in that movie, man. Really fucking did. What Chuck's back? What's going on, man? Alright, I'm dropping mine. Boom. Kitty, what about you?
It's really hard to pick.
I'm surprised you're not picking John Wick.
That was one of my favorites. But there's so many
There
like
are.
really good action movies.
There are, and they just don't make the action movies like they used to, man. It's all
Right.
too much Michael Bay blowing shit up. Like, man, I'm all for blowing some shit up in a movie, man, but like, can we get back to a good storyline? Can we have a good storyline and blow some shit up? Like,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know, man. I'd rather have those old movies with the, less than great special effects and corny one-liners, but had good fucking storyline, man. Like, dude, Die Hard. All Die Hard movies were fucking great, dude. Fucking Lethal Weapon, Rambo. Dude, Rambo is the shit. Oh man, what was the name of that one? course, Boondock Saints. Don't forget Boondock Saints, man. I wouldn't really necessarily call that an action movie, but that is definitely one of my fucking all-time favorites right there. George says he's actually gonna get the Wolverine claws tattooed on the back of his leg. Fuck yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, man, they ain't gonna be able to do Wolverine without Hugh Jackman, man. Hell no. It's like doing Iron Man without fucking Robert Downey, man. Just ain't gonna be the same. I checked out Marvel, man. I don't know what the hell he's supposed to be. Somebody else now, and there's all these weird spin-offs and shit. I really have checked out Marvel, man. I feel like ever since Disney bought them, they just kind of tanked. Wolverine all the way, hell yeah, man. Dude, Dark Knight, man. I know a lot of people probably hate me for saying, but I think Christian Bale's the best Batman. I feel like that's what Batman would be in real life, man. Especially nowadays, and what Gotham would actually be. I mean, hell, dude, Gotham really is just fucking New York, dude. It really fucking is. Just not the glorified version you usually see. Like, oh, it's the Big Apple, happy shopping, fucking heart of commerce over here. Let's sit in the coffee shop like fucking, Rachel and Chandler and Monica and all them fucking, we're all just happy in life. Nah, man, New York's a fucking cesspool. Georgia said Boondock Saints, and another favorite of mine would be Predator. Dude, you're one ugly motherfucker. That was such a badass part. Dude, that when he's like underneath the giant fucking log, just like holding on and shit, burying himself in the fucking mud. Dude, Commando, dude. Have you ever seen Commando, Georgia? Fucking that movie, dude. Fucking, what was his name? Bennett. Let off some steam, Bennett. So fucking corny, but so badass, man. That ending song, too. We fight for love. Damn, damn. Damn, damn. Good old 80s, man. Kitty's like, I don't know. Fucking action movies, I don't know.
No, I do. Actually, I have watched more action movies than I do anything else.
I know, but I know it's not your favorite.
It
You're
is
like,
actually.
give me some Vikings and some medieval times.
Well, yeah. And that would be considered drama, but there's a lot of action in that stuff too. A lot of
Yeah.
blood and gore. I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, Vikings were intense, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. Anyway, guys, we're going to wrap it up here. We had fun with y'all. Thank y'all for joining in. Just Doing, Georgia, Woodchuck, all y'all. Everybody coming in, catching on the replay. Thank y'all so much, man. Like I said, we're just screwing around tonight. I know we didn't really get deep into any, big old topic or anything, but we will be back with one of those on the next episode. We'll go on another deep dive or something, man. But yeah, y'all are always welcome, man. If y'all have any suggestions, any topics, anything you want to go over, shit, man, drop it in the chat. Anybody ever want to jump on, do a little, open mic night? We thought about doing that too, man. Just having some random people just kind of jump in, 10, 15 segments with each, whatever. But if y'all are ever down with that, guys, jump on in, man. We always like to hear some shit. I know kind of when we have a specific topic, we kind of stay locked down with it, but might do like an open mic night or something like that. So
Absolutely.
We'll figure it out.
And if any of our listeners or people that watch, if you have a small business or if you are starting something, even you're doing something on the side, but you would like for us to mention you, let us know.
Absolutely.
We have no
Yeah.
problem with that. We do this thing for the artists because, again, they're small businessmen. That's what they're doing. They're promoting themselves. So you got to do it for
Oh
your
yeah.
business. We'll help you here.
And the reason we've kicked off with music, man, church. It's
Yep.
been fucking up church, man. You
Hmm.
know, but that's why we wanna expand into something bigger, man, because music is not the end of corruption, man. There's corruption all over, and we want to see everybody succeed and beat that corruption, man. Whether it's a small business as a musician, as an artist, small business as a shop owner or contractor or whatever, man. There's corruption everywhere. The devil's fucking with us all. So it's time to take a stand and show them where you're gonna be fucked with. So let's start
Absolutely.
spreading that agape, spreading that love, man, and we want to shout out all the local businesses, all the you know small businesses out there, whatever. Can you drop real quick Angela's link again? Angela Moore.
One
Yeah, guys.
second.
Anybody who hasn't checked out Angela Moore? She's on Instagram. She makes like jewelry and what else is it? She makes like gift bags and stuff like that too.
Yeah, she does like gift bags. She does a little bit of makeup with some like cool lotions, stuff like that. She does keychains. She does all sorts of stuff.
Heck yeah. And was it Gabe that was doing the coasters and stuff? I
No,
think
that
it
was
was Canada.
Canada.
That was Canada. Yeah, yeah, Can. Wow, I'm getting my
Never
people
heard back
mixed up.
from him
Sorry,
on
guys.
that. I don't know if he's still doing it, so I don't want to say that in,
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
if he's not doing it. So I'm not going to go there unless I know for sure.
Absolutely. Canada, let us know if you're still doing stuff like that, man. We're gonna give you a shout out, man.
Hmm. There
But
is Angela's link. She is working on her own website, guys. So until then, if you look at her page right there, all you have to do is just scroll down. You'll see the products that she makes if you kind of like something. And it's also like cost effective. Like the stuff that she puts out, it's not expensive at all.
no,
And it's really cute and awesome looking stuff. So, um, perfect for like you want a little gift for somebody like a female in your life, but you're not sure what to do or anything, those would be great. But just message her there on Instagram until she gets her website up.
heck yeah. And yeah, Georgia, shit, dude, I'm down for that. We're still debating. We may or may not be doing something on Memorial Weekend. We will keep y'all posted with that. But yeah, man, we would definitely like to do that Jekyll Island night. That would be cool.
Hmm.
But
That would
yeah,
be fun.
George Redneck's got an album dropping June 17th, guys. Check that out. I know Woodchuck's got one too, he said. Let me scroll back up here and get that one. The Rap Lane album dropping in a few days. So definitely be on the lookout for both those albums, guys.
Hmm.
But yeah, as soon as we
Exciting.
get the audio stuff worked out, we're gonna do reviews for you guys. We got you. But yeah, anybody, let us know. We're down for more topics, man. We got plenty ourselves, but if there's anything in particular, let us know. We'll do it. Well, y'all have a good weekend. Everybody's be safe out there. If y'all got bad weather coming, be safe. But if you got good weather, man, get out there, enjoy that sunshine, man. It's time to let's get off our screens for a little bit. That's what we're gonna do. Gonna be enjoying nature, man.
Absolutely.
Getting back to the roots, man.
I'm looking forward to first time ever. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna make some honeysuckle tea, baby. So I'm
Heck
excited.
yeah. Shit, yeah. Let's do it.
Hmm.
Yeah. We'll keep y'all posted on the gardening and stuff too, but everything's looking good, guys. So we're making some hot sauce and some salsas and do a little pickling. It's gonna be good, man. Got some fresh corn. Woo. Hungry now. Why is it every end of the episode we get hungry?
Because we're fat kids, babe.
I'm hungry. All right, guys, we're gonna get out here now. Everybody have a great weekend, man. Great night. Hope y'all get some time with the families, man, and Shit, dude, we wish y'all the best, man. We all got this. We're all gonna fucking make it one day. Creek Squad for life, motherfuckers.
Greek Squad. Bye, you guys.
See y'all.